So we had one more session in our 3-week series. Without losing time, I'll hand over to Dr. Newton. He's going to give us a talk on the science of past life regression. Dr. Newton.
Thank you, Chandra, for an amazing meditation session. First time I'm participating in your guided meditation session. It's so profound. Your voice is so soothing. It really guided us into those states of consciousness where you're mentioning about beyond time, space, where there's no body and no space, no locality, non-locality. And really, I felt that transportation into higher conscious states. So thank you for this beautiful session.
Thank you.
So dear friends, we are fortunate to have these kinds of beautiful sessions guided by Chandrasekhar ji every day, almost like more than 40 days, I think 50 days, he was sharing his profound the wisdom that he carried always, and also his love. I could see what is most prominent in this session. I felt is in your voice there is compassion, there is beautiful, very, very tangible love. It's the purest form of love that you're sharing. And we are very fortunate. And thanks once again, Chandraji, and all the friends here. Thanks for giving me the opportunity to share about past life regression. It's my favorite topic. That's how I stepped into this path of meditation. That's how I was interested in spiritual path. When I met Brahmashri Pitamaha Patriji 30 years back, 1989, when I learned meditation practice, at that point of time, I was like a non-believer of anything because I come from a different background where my father was a kind of an atheist. He used to encourage me to study, read Karl Marx, Lenin, communist philosophy because my friends, my father's friends, all of them are communists. So I was always in contact with them. So when I came in contact with Patriji, I liked the approach of Patriji because it's the most scientific approach. He did not say that you have to be rigid, you have to follow these kinds of rules. And he said, just very simple. You have to relax and close your eyes and sit in a comfortable posture and observe breathing. And when I started doing it, I found so many interesting experiences. I experienced something very beautiful. After my 40 days initial practice, 40 days of sadhana, I had my experience of past lives. I experienced some of my past lives. So it was a mind-blowing experience for me because at that point of time, I didn't have a clue that we have so many lifetimes. Patriji just introduced us, we were 5 people at that time in Kurnool. So we used to be every evening we used to be there with Patriji. And all night we used to spend with him. And we used to meditate and share our experiences. So at that point of time, when these past lives emerged, I thought all of them are just my imaginary experiences. I had no clue that it is something like a past life that is emerging in my consciousness. And I was always carrying that skeptical nature, skeptical mind. because I think everyone, each one of us always search for some kind of evidence, some kind of breakthrough experience. For me, the first breakthrough occurred in 1992, 91, when I first time experimented with past life regression. I conducted past life regression session 91 on my grandmother. Later on, with another meditator who used to come to Buddha Pyramid Jhana Kendra in Karnool. So he was speaking an unknown language, and he was also writing the script, the language that he was speaking, so the alphabets of that language. Later, it was validated, confirmed as a Russian language. He was a Russian in the past life. So that's the first my breakthrough experience. More than my own experience, I had experienced something like a aha moment when I have witnessed a person speaking a strange language. And then my mind was so open at that time. And I want to investigate more. I want to know more about past lives. Why? What is the purpose of reincarnation? Why we need to come back multiple times? Why can't we just live one day and one lifetime and complete everything and go? What is the very purpose of this? So what happened is I was continuing with my sessions. That time, Dr. Lakshmi was my classmate. We were medical students. So that when I used to share all her my experiences, she always used to encourage. She joined my research work. We used to jointly conduct multiple sessions every day. So, dear friends, today I'm going to share some kind of pointers, like a certain kinds of insights that I learned from the science of past life regression. Why do we need to look into past lives? Why do we need to remember them? If nature has put an iron curtain, a veil of forgetfulness, why do we need to lift that curtain and remember our past lives? What is the very purpose of it? And second thing is, where are these memories stored? If there are memories, is it stored in our brain, neuronal cells, or is it somewhere else it is stored? Because we know that when body is dying, even the brain, the hardware, all the hardware of the body, the physical body, is completely going to be, burnt. We cremate the body, we bury the body. So where are these memories stored in case reincarnation is true? And the third point I want to share today is about different types of past life experience, different ways people experience past life memories. Because not all the time people get regressed into a past life through hypnotic regression or past life regression or non-hypnotic methods. Some they have a very different ways to access past life information. So I'm going to share about that, and also certain clues to our past life that we find in our everyday life. These are the points that I'm going to share with all of you friends. So let us take the first question. Why do we need to look into past? Why do we need to remember past life memories? So this is the question mark for everyone. This question arises naturally in everyone. So most of the people, when they hear past life regression, they ask me this question, and they're very skeptical about it. And they tell that, oh, why do we need to go into past lives? Our goal is to move forward in life. Why do we need to go into past lives? So this is exactly the question asked by one of the Mahabharata characters, Shakuni uncle. He's one of the important characters vital, crucial role he played in Mahabharata war. So he asked Lord Krishna, he knew that Lord Krishna is a Paramatma. He reached to the supreme states of consciousness. So he asked this question that Shakuni asked Lord Krishna that I want to look into my future. I know you are a Paramatma. You can open my third eye. You can show me my future. Because he knew always the ability or the skill and the wisdom of Lord Krishna. Lord Krishna answered very beautifully, though it is not, this part of the scripture is not available in India. I have come across, I have read this scripture, part of this scripture is the dialogue between Shakuni and Lord Krishna that happened. There are so many slokas, so many verses in Sanskrit. It was stolen from India. It was taken to Afghanistan. So they translated into their language. Later on, some of the researchers, they found this text, very ancient text from Mahabharata times, Dwapar Yuga. So I was stunned to hear the answers from Lord Krishna. When I read that few slokas, Lord Krishna answered that before you want to see, look into the future, if you want to sincerely move forward into the future, you have to clear baggage that you carry from 7 past lives, Sat Janma. 7 lifetimes of baggage we carry, we have to unload it. We are all carrying that karmic baggage and we have to clear it. Till then, we will not have permission to step into the future times. So, dear friends, there is a purpose why we need to remember past lives. Almost 80% of people, they carry what is called as baggage, emotional baggage, karmic baggage, fears, patterns, so many things from past lives. And they are like seeds, impressions, imprints in our astral body, which we carry. When we are incarnating in a new body, at the right time, all these imprints will show up. Till then, the pattern is in the subconscious, in the expressed mode, non-expressive mode. It is very dormant, like how many of the seeds, they are very dormant. They're dried seeds. When there is raindrops that falls on the earth ground, and suddenly these seeds, they start sprouting. In the same way, in this incarnation cycle, we start everything fresh, everything clean. When we were born as children, there's nothing that we remember. Almost like 99.99% of people, they don't remember anything about their past lives. Even they're not conscious about their birthing process. Only after they are born, maybe after a few months, they recognize that I have a separate body from the mother. So they identify their unique body and unique expression. They identify the mother and father. But then, before that, all things are completely sealed. They're not there. We can't access that memory. Because there is a reason why nature has designed that way. We are not supposed to remember our past lives. But when we're talking about past life regression, why we need to look into the past lives? So there is a reason. It's a therapeutic reasons. Number one is clinical and therapeutic reasons. There are many people who are suffering. They have these endless patterns. They have fears and phobias. They go through complexities in their life. They have health issues. So the origins, the roots are there in the past lives. We have to go to the roots of these issues and problems that we are facing in this current life. So some, they require these past life explorations in order to heal themselves. Because so many, I have met so many people from last 30 years. And these 30 years of my research into this field, I know the value, the significance, what past life regression can offer, how much it benefits the humanity. It's a very, very beautiful tool of therapeutic tool. And so many case studies where people recovered from their medical illnesses. It's stunning to hear such medical miracles. Even it's very unbelievable. Medically, we can't explain, or we can't tell logically, rationally what is happening. When they have these visions of past life, suddenly there is something shift in their medical condition, shift in their body state, and shift in their mind that they experience. So I have really seen such cases, and that's why I truly believe that there is life after life. There's reincarnation. We do come back because Earth is a school, and we do come back to continue the journey. Life will not end with one lifetime. Though certain religions, they don't speak about multiple lives, they only focus on only one single lifetime. But whereas in Bharat Desh, we know that we speak a lot about past lives. When we open the Bhagavad Gita, entire Bhagavad Gita, the scripture is completely about reincarnation and law of karma and karma siddhant. Lord Krishna was teaching us about. He taught in many slokas that how many lifetimes we keep coming back again and again. Bahuni me vetitani janmani tavacharjuna. Tanyaham veda sarvani natvam veta parantapa. Oh Arjuna, I know all my past lives, I know all your lifetimes, but you have forgotten them. You are a sadhaka, you are a practitioner of meditation. Now wake up, open your third eye and see. So those who are ready, those who are sincere practitioners of meditation, seekers, sadhaks, they are ready for past life explorations. Till then, it's not required. That's why there is certain kinds of maturity levels are required to explore past lives. Either there must be a strong reason, purpose behind why you need to explore a past life. It could be medical health condition, fears and phobias, or certain thoughts which are odd thoughts, or recurrent nightmarish dreams which are bothering you. Or it could be even sometimes people who are suffering with patterns, recurring patterns in their lives. So many medical conditions, relationship problems, unexplicable kinds of emotional states, like for example feeling all the time betrayal feeling in this lifetime, but there's no betrayal situation in this current life. They feel suspicion about everyone, mistrust towards everyone. So what is the reason behind it? So for this reason, one valid reason to explore past lives is these kinds of therapeutic, and to transform the baggage that we are carrying so that our soul becomes lighter. We shed all the baggage. The second important reason is to remember our purpose of life. Unless we see our immediate past birth, we really can't understand what is that I need to do now in this current life, because it's a continuation. Life is a continuum. We have journeyed across lifetimes, so many lifetimes, approximately around 200 to 400 human lifetimes to complete this journey here on the planet Earth. Before that, many animal, plant, mineral lives, so many different insect lives. And we need to know at least one immediate past birth or one core lifetime, significant core lifetime, where it is directly linked with this current life, our purpose that we are continuing. So to discover our life mission, our purpose, why we are leading the life now, why we have certain kinds of thoughts, why do we have certain behaviors, why do we have a kind of a certain personality structure now, we need to discover this. It's very natural that many meditators access these past life memories in meditation. I have explored so many lifetimes memories in my deep meditation states. It is possible for all meditators because a meditator becomes ready. They understand that life is not just the five sensory world. Life is not just what we see with our physical eyes. Life is even much beyond this. There's certain things which are invisible to these physical eyes. There's certain things that we don't remember or about our origins. So a meditator uncovers, discovers these past life memories very naturally. And certain people I have found, people, they also remember past lives through dreaming process. Many of them I met, they report that yes, I have discovered, not through meditation, not through hypnotic regression, not through any kind of procedures like past life regression, bridge techniques, not all of them, but I have seen my past lives just in my dream. I remember very vividly. And recently I received email, because I was taking certain online classes. I was sharing about how past life memories are going to be discovered during meditation. So this lady, after the class, after 2 days, she returned the email that she discovered a past life memory in her dream. So the visions are so vivid and clear. It's a kind of lucid dream. It was as if she was transported to a different century. It was almost like 5 centuries back. She was in China. So she found a kind of ancient structures there, pagodas and those architecture, Chinese architecture. She navigated through all those dream visions. In the Swapnavastha, she explored entire lifetime. She got certain clues also. In the dream, she remembered everything. When she woke up, she written down everything. Later on, she did the internet research, whether such names existing, such places existing, whatever that she saw, a kind of beautiful, a circular structure with a kind of a statue of big Buddha statue, and there is a fountain. There is a fountain. So later on, she did the research to whether that kind of place exists anywhere in the world. And she found exactly it is existing. In actually Hong Kong is a Chinese occupied place. So it was invaded by Chinese. So she found that place exactly where she uncovered this memory. So many people, they explore past lives through dreams. And also many, they experience through inner knowingness. Some, they have a deja vu experience. Deja vu is a kind of a deep inner recognition of their past lives, inner knowingness of their past lives. They don't have any clue that it's not like they're speaking to a guru and guru is revealing. It's just their soul remembers because they're so ready now. So I heard so many of these experiences. My research findings are reincarnation is very much true. I truly believe in reincarnation. Whatever Lord Krishna told, whatever the Lord Rama told, whatever the Bharadesh, all the ancient rishis, masters told, is absolutely true, truth, nothing but truth. And the ancient scriptures offered enough ways to explore, discover all by ourselves. And now the third point I want to share about is, where are these memories stored? How these memories are stored? So we all know that even in this current life, if we take into account, our mind remembers many of these current life events. We have this conscious mind, which is 5%. 95% is subconscious mind. We know from science about this. So when we're talking about mind, mind is different from brain. Brain is the hardware, mind is the software. The mind is software. And the hardware part is the neuronal cells. There are mind and the body and this brain are interconnected. So all these memories are stored in the subconscious, what is called as a reservoir or the library. Every memory's imprints are stored right from childhood. And it's possible that if you are entering into an altered state of consciousness, in a deep meditation state, like how we today, guided by Master Chandra, this guided meditation, where we are transporting beyond time space, we also, some of us, we suddenly access these memories. It happens spontaneously because the subconscious mind opens up in an altered state. And the subconscious mind stores all the details, every detail. We have access to all the memories of our childhood. Though we have forgotten the memories of 3-year-old child, or when you are 2-year old, when you are 1-year old, when you are a months old baby, when you are just newborn baby, you are just newly born 1-day old baby, you can remember because all these memories are intact. Never all these memories are going to be erased. They're going to be there. And you can access even the memories of your womb memories when you are inside the mother's womb. In utero memories. It's fascinating. This kind of research is conducted scientifically by our own scientists, starting from Sigmund Freud, later on Carl Gustav Jung and Stanislav Grof. All these are really world-renowned psychiatrists who started looking for some certain kinds of therapeutic modalities. They want to understand how the psyche of us, psychology, the mind is affecting the body. From the time of Sigmund Freud, research was going on. And Carl Gustav Jung and later on Dr. Stanislav Grof, he was also inspired by Sigmund Freud. He continued the work to explore the subconscious mind. He's the one who started this new branch of science called transpersonal psychology, which deals with the reincarnation memories and all these things. He has done phenomenal work about it. And he discovered that our subconscious mind really stores all these memories. And how we access these subconscious memories. From point of view from India, from Bharat Desh, our ancient scriptures never talks about subconscious mind. But we have a very different nomenclature. We say that we have Panchakoshas, we have Sukshma Sarira. So one of the Sukshma Sarira, we call them as Pranamaya Kosha, Manomaya Kosha, Vijnanamaya Kosha. These 3 koshas. We have to give a English names to them: etheric body, astral body, and causal body. These 3 bodies stores the information of the past. Your etheric body stores it as energetic imprints, because etheric body stores the energy. Manomaya Kosha, our astral body, stores all that information about the emotions, fears, thought forms, beliefs, all that is stored there. Vijnanamaya Kosha, this is called causal body, Karana Sharira. In this body, it's exactly entire memory record, Akashic record is stored. So our ancient rishis, Patanjali Maharshi, Buddha, and we can say so many rishis, and from Jainism, from Jain scriptures also, there's enough of these tools of awareness given, shared by them, by the Tirthankaras, that to explore these past life memories, to explore these deeper subtle bodies. In the subtle bodies, all this information is stored. In terms of our modern science, we call it a subconscious mind or unconscious mind, but it is linked with the subtle bodies. So when we are vacating the body, when we are dying, we are just discarding this physical body. We are leaving this physical body. This physical body is just made of 5 elements, Pancha Mahabhutas. This mingles and mixes with all the 5 elements here. Our etheric body also disintegrates here. The astral body now travels, it journeys into what is called life between life states, LBL states, between lives, inter-life states. There are different lokas, there are different planes of consciousness. Our soul, our astral body, our soul journeys into that plane. There we reside for some time, and beginner souls, they incarnate from the astral planes. They take a rebirth. They take help of the many spiritual guides. We all have spiritual guides. So there is a life after death. There is a life between life, and there is activity. There is a learning process that continues even after we die. So this is what is being explored in a past life regression, and this information is stored in our subtle body. So dear friends, in the astral plane also, people, they go through what is called as the second death. The astral body, they discard. Many of the advanced souls, they go into causal world. And the causal world, Karana Sharira, there are causal planes. There are different higher vibratory worlds. In that world, they reside for some time and they discard that Karana Sharira also. Then they reach to supracausal worlds, celestial worlds, or they're called as, even some of these self-realized awakened beings, they reach to what is called as Satyaloka. In Sanskrit, we have a description about this Bhuloka, Bhuvarloka, Maharloka, Janaloka, Tapoloka, Satyaloka, these archetypal 7 worlds. So Satyaloka is the one who have realized about completeness, the totality. We call it as enlightenment or nirvana, or deep nirvikalpa samadhi states that a sadhak achieves. So when they go through the death process, they go through the third death also. So many of us, those who are non-meditators, they have access till astral world. They reincarnate because they have not yet completely expanded their consciousness beyond the astral levels. In the astral worlds also, there are lower astral worlds, there are middle astral worlds, there are higher astral worlds. So lower astral worlds, we in Bharat we call it as in our ancient scriptures, Narakaloka. There are actually lower astral planes. Means whatever that we do here, certain mistakes, certain blunders, certain errors, the consequences are there for that. And in that journey of the soul, in the life after death stage, the soul initially goes through these purgatory worlds, the transitory lower astral plane. There, whatever pain that we have hurt or pain we have given to others, we briefly go through that. We also have a realization that, oh, I have caused so much hurt and problems. I trespassed, I transgressed, I really violated certain things here on the planet Earth. It's my blunder. I did a committed mistake. And guides there, they help them to release from their guilt. They say that we have enough opportunities to learn. Don't worry, you will be given another chance to go back. This time, do better. This time, don't repeat the same thing. Don't repeat the same mistake again. Learn from this. There's a lesson that you need to learn. So whatever that lessons that are not learned, we do come back from astral plane. We do reincarnate at a right time. And of course, there is always choice that is there about choosing the family, choosing our mother and father. We choose our parents. Guides will help us enormously to select the country, the religion, and our parents, all these things. Most of our lifetime events now we are living here are predestined or designed by our own selves. There is a script that we write there. Our guide says that, okay, these are the lifetimes that you have gone through, but these are the things that you missed out. You are still not yet learned these important lessons. You need to clear them. So we come back. We choose the circumstances, situations, even some of the illnesses, even part of the plan to learn lessons, and also we select so many things. So many interesting things happen. So this is about these memories that our soul always carries. These memories, they're all in the sukshma sariras. Only when we are in a deep meditation states, with the help of so many those spiritual guides, there are many of us, we have access to those spiritual guides. More than our physical guides, these non-physical guides, they really feel so happy that we are meditating, because we have to empty the minds. We need to be available to them, and so that they can come and interact and they can transmit the wisdom. They give us such profound knowledge and wisdom, and they reveal about our incarnations also. They show us our past lives. So this is how it happens. These memories are accessible for an important reason, to spiritually progress. I have seen many spiritual sadhaks, practitioners, seekers who are on the path. When they discover past life memory, they now take a leap in their consciousness. They grow leap in bounds. So it is like they unstoppable. Till then, something, they don't have a clarity about their purpose, why they are now, what they need to do. They have always doubt whether is it my purpose, am I doing correctly. Most of us, we have this. So when I explored one of my past lives where I was in Takshashila University, it became so clear to me what is why I am back again, why I incarnated again. It became so clear. I need to continue the work that I have done in my previous life. So because it's my duty, it's my purpose, it's my mission. Otherwise, I will not be, my soul will not feel satisfied. Each one of us, we have come with a mission. Everyone, whoever incarnated, there is a strong purpose, a meaning for this life. We need to discover it. And past life regression therapy is a very powerful tool. So Lord Krishna also given so many beautiful formulas in Bhagavad Gita. He said, even though we have so many lifetimes of karmic baggage, sanchita karma and prarabdha karma, but all that can be nullified and neutralized. He talked about it in several slokas. One of the slokas I can quote here. Api chedasi papebhya sarvebhya papa krutamaha sarvam gnana plavenaiva vrijanam santarishyasi. Oh Arjuna, you know There are many people who have sinned in multiple lives. There are a lot of negative karma they have accumulated. A lot of baggage is there. Even though they're sinners, still they can cross this ocean taking the help of this boat of wisdom. This boat will carry them to the other shore. He said in another sloka, Nanagni Daddha Karmanam, the wisdom of the soul, it erases, it burns all the karmic seeds in one go. That's why many of the self-realized gurus, they always insist that practice meditation. Why? Because meditation, when we are opening our third eyes, when we are awakening our subtle bodies, what happens is we burn the karmas. All the past life, whatever the imprints, whatever those karmic, even including prarabdha karma. For example, prarabdha karma, nobody can escape. One has to go through that experience, a tough experience, a challenge in their life. But a meditator, a spiritual sadhak will have an advantage. Why? Because they will not go through that challenge like losing a limb. But they meet an accident, but only just a small bruise will occur. They may have a small hurt and a pain in the leg, but except that they will not be landing up in the hospital. Very small incident that happens because they are sincerely practicing meditation. So the prarabdha karma, it touches us, means a ripened karma, it touches us. A karmic situation will come, but it will not be a disastrous experience. And also in the sangha, in the sajjana sangatya, in a group consciousness, group energy, like-minded people, it uplifts the vibrational state of everyone. This is called Sajjana Sangatya. In the Sajjana Sangatya, there is a possibility that all the Sanchita Karma load of baggage that we are carrying is nullified. And all those past life samskaras, and they are completely altered. This is another important thing that we need to know. So dear friends, I'm going to now share with you. So you are most welcome to interact with me anytime. So I think I leave at the end for question and answers. We'll have the dialogue. So now the last point I want to share with you is clues to past lives. Certain interesting clues. There's 16 clues that I want to share with you, which can really help us to understand about past life influences on this current life, and also even we can understand about the past lives which are really, that information is projected into this current life. Even with our own awareness, we can grasp about the past lives. Number one clue is interest in a certain historical time period. For example, you're always drawn towards a certain historical time periods. You resonate a lot. When you hear about that particular story from a history time, immediately there is a kind of, you experience a resonance. Many people, they reported this experience. One person, he was always interested about World War. His greatest resonance is about World War. And when he visited a past life memory with the help of past life regression therapy, so what he had seen is exactly the situation in the World War. He was in the Nazi concentration camp, and he was in actually in the troop in the Nazi army. He was also part of that, where he has to execute the punishments. He has to throw people into. So he looked at it, because in this lifetime he always carried a heavy guilt. He always feels responsible for everything that is being done. Everyone is sad, he feels responsible for that. And he could completely explore and dissolve the guilt. The best part is past regression is therapeutic. When we uncover the memories, even the memories which are hard, he tracked the root cause for this chronic guilt that he carried, the guilt coming from the times of World War time. And he was executing his duty. He was actually want to run away from that place, but he was forced to work in the Nazi concentration camp. He was forced. He was a young person, and all the youth in Germany, Austria, and those places, Hitler used to pick them up, and they used to be put in the Nazi army. They were just putting them into the Nazi. They were forced to be trained as a military person, and they're forced to do certain things. So that time he didn't have any autonomy, and but still he carried the guilt. I could dissolve because it's a beautiful therapeutic tool. And the second, I can share so many of these kinds of experience of historical time periods. One more case study where separation time between, between India and Pakistan, the migration that happened at the time, and so many deaths that happened. So many people died. When people migrated from Pakistan to India, India to Pakistan, one person, he was born as a Muslim in this life, but he always interested to go to a temple, and he has to remove his all these things. He has to go secretively when all his friends are not looking at him, and he has to go to the temple. He really loves the temple, and he wants to really find out the reason why he is so much drawn towards it. So what he has explored is really astonishing. In the past life, he was a Hindu. He was living at that time when this kind of migration was happening. There was a struggle between India and Pakistan that time. He was in the past life a Brahmin who was doing a kind of priest work, job of a priest, working in the temple. So it's phenomenal. When he explored, he was crying, he was with tears. And he could understand why he is drawn, resonating with always Hinduism, and he wants to worship God. He wants more than going to a mosque, he wants to go to temple. So it's really, it explains so many things. And the second is clue is geographical areas, countries. Many of us, we have resonances with certain countries. We are drawn towards certain countries. When we visit such countries, certain countries, we immediately feel that I have come home. We feel a kind of home feeling. And always we find that interesting experiences happening in this current life, that we always are pulled towards certain places. You will get situations, opportunities to visit certain countries. And when you visit that country, you feel kind of knowingness. You know exactly all the information because you have lived in that particular country. So I was part of many of the European countries, because I lived in Italy, I lived in Spain in my past life. So when I visited them, I immediately felt a kind of knowingness, a deja vu feeling. I knew this place. I met my past life brother who lives in Spain, and from the Qatar's time, we were together. He was my brother, but he was also one of the Qatars who sacrificed his life. He jumped into the fire along with the whole tribe. So that separation in this life, when I visited, I felt so like Bangladesh is my home now, but I felt the same kind of feeling when I visited Spain. I could not explain logically, but when this memory came up, I understood the reason. And that my friend, who was my past life brother, he also reported the same experience which I have uncovered, the memory that where we were brothers from the past lives. We know each other. So friends, we are from different countries. We are international people. So in this lifetime, we are born here. Not, we might have been in other parts of the world. I have strong connections in many countries like China, ancient China, during the times of Lao Tzu. And that time I lived, that time I was there. And part of my training with Chinese wisdom, Taoist wisdom, I gone through that. So I always feel a very deep connection with ancient China, not with modern China, but the ancient China and Taoist wisdom, Lao Tzu, Taoist teachings. And the third interesting clue, dear friends, is art, artifacts, music, dance that resonate. You find that many of us are drawn towards certain kinds of arts, dances, music. Maybe you like a Russian ballet dance. Maybe you like a kind of Western classical or Mozart or certain kinds of Western classical music or Eastern music. Maybe music from Tibet, the Tibetan singing bowls. So it is like an interesting clue. And fourth one is your taste in fashion, jewelry, and home decoration. You always, you find your past life completely represented in your home. This is what exactly Paramahamsa Yoganandaji talked about in one of his books. He said, if I visit anyone's home, I can tell, I can read their past lives, because we know that in that home we keep according to our deep likes and dislikes and interests we carry from past lives. If you are a monk from past lives, you keep all the pictures of gods, Buddha, and our Rudrakshamala, our crystals, so many things. This shows that you have been a spiritual soul. You, in your library, if someone finds a spiritual books, they can find out that, oh, you're carrying this kind of interest from multiple lives. Anyone visiting someone's home, they can read their past lives. It is almost there in every element. The furniture they like, some of the royal past lives. Maybe somebody is a king or a queen in the past life. In this lifetime, they have very rich decoration. They decorate everything in a very rich way. They like it that way. And fifth clue I want to share is movies and books that resonate with you. Which book, when you have read it, opened your heart and immediately you resonated with the story of that book. It could be a spiritual book, could be even any novel, but the story has touched your heart because it's a resonance. A movie also, not all movies really, we don't even remember. After seeing the movie, we forget mostly. But certain movies we still remember. When I read Jonathan Livingston Seagull, written by Richard Bach, that's the book I resonated like anything, because it opened my heart, my mind, and completely it put me on the spiritual path. It's like a synchronicity that happened in my life. So many of us, we experienced that. And sixth clue is the education that you have chosen, your hobbies in this current life. When you have leisure time, we don't do except those things really we are very passionate and deeply interested about. Our hobbies explain a lot of past life knowledge that we carry. And when we try to pursue the same kind of field of knowledge even in this current life. For example, doctors, healers are healers in many lifetimes. Artists, they're artists from many lifetimes. Because to master one art, maybe singing, dancing, maybe meditation, it takes so many lifetimes. We can't master it in one single lifetime. To reach to the stage of Bismillah Khan or say Pandit Sri Ravi Shankar ji, it's not easy. It's a sadhana of many lifetimes. So that's why in this lifetime, many of us, we pursue the same kind of field of interest. We'll be born again in the some kind of families where these possibilities are there. The music family where we come in contact with music again, or we'll be exposed to many yogis or meditator or rishis, so that we learn meditation from them. So because our past lives resonances we find in this current life. And seventh interesting clue is knowledge or talent beyond experience. Have you experienced any kind of talent and experience, any kind of knowledge without any formal training? You are able to exhibit it. For example, at a very younger age, many people, they are called as child prodigies. Recently, I have seen a video of 3-year-old child reciting all the Bhagavad Gita slokas, 701 slokas without non-stop. He's able to recite. A small boy, even third year, we don't even know how to speak, but he was reciting the slokas, Bhagavad Gita. I was astonished because it explains that it's not just this lifetime, this Janma's effort. He carried it from past lives. So some of them, some of us, we carry poetry. We know one day we start writing poetry. We know some of us, we are creative artists. We paint without learning about painting. Some of us are good orators. We did not go to any school to learn how to speak, how to deliver a best speech, but it is so spontaneous for some of us because it's a skill, knowledge that you had in the past life. A meditator in the past life has again this skill of meditation in this current life. They are drawn again into this current life. So knowledge, talent beyond experience. This is an interesting clue. And eighth clue that we can find is childhood games and role plays that you used to participate in. Because as a child, we sometimes are very imaginative and we go on playing certain roles also. Most of the times, children, they play like a king and minister and soldier, and they're participating in a war situation. And they will have role plays. They invent games. They kind of imagination. They invent a story. They try to do these kinds of roles. And many times, it's a past life story they are enacting. At a very younger age, it happens. When I was around 5-year-old child, my favorite game I have invented is game of silence. In my school, all my classmates, I used to make them sit silently. I used to tell them, whoever not going to open eyes for 5 minutes, they are the winners. They are going to be declared as a winner. So I used to tell them, my favorite game is that, not kabaddi, not kho-kho, not anything else, but this is my favorite game as a child. Later on, when I came into this path, I could recognize clearly my practice of meditation that I have done in multiple lives, a lot of practice of silence that I have practiced, which I always carried in my soul. This is also very interesting clue. I met so many children. One child used to play a game like she plays with her Barbie dolls and tie a rope around her neck and hang the doll. And parents were surprised to see that, and they thought it's a kind of psychological problem. She was shown to many psychologists. They tried to counsel her. She was a young child. She said she's still repeating the same kind of behavior. She always hanged the teddy bear. And when we were speaking to her, she said it's the past. She narrating about what happened to her in a past life. She was hanged to death. So she was a woman in a village. It's a kind of injustice done to her, and the public humiliation. She was hanged to death in that lifetime. So as a child, she was trying to tell to the parents, look at me, this is what happened, injustice happened to me in my past life, because this is what the information she wanted to share. So she used to always do this kind of game. So many children, they have these kinds of specific behavioral patterns which start showing up at a very younger age. our conventional psychology cannot understand this phenomena. It's coming from past lives. There's so much of research is going on about this right now. And ninth clue is, have you experienced recurring patterns? Any kind of pattern which is repeating in your life. That's a clue. A pattern, a negative pattern, a positive pattern, a seasonal pattern. Every year, annually, is something that is repeating. And we do have many patterns in our life. Like from childhood, there is a kind of theme which is repeating. All the time there is a theme which is like in the background, it repeats again and again, again and again. So that's a clue that it's coming from the past lives. And the 10th clue is your reactions, your reactive states, your emotional states, sensations that you experience in your body. It's a clue about your past lives. Certain times you can't logically explain why you go into a very reactive state, why you have certain emotional stuff coming out. A catharsis occurs all the time spontaneously. Our medical science can't explain this phenomena, but we know that it's coming from past lives. It's a clue. An injustice happened to a woman who was burnt alive in the past life. She was sexually molested in the past life. In this current life, she had a very good childhood, nothing, no bad circumstances, no bad events happened in her life. But whenever she reads the newspaper, whenever she reads about news about any woman who was sexually molested, she reacts. Rage comes into her. And she used to wonder. Her parents tried to console her and she took counseling with psychologists, but it was not helping. Later on, when she explored her past life, she understood the origin is the injustice done to her in the past life. She was actually molested in the past life. She was burnt after the molestation. She was burnt. And in this life, she has great rage and reactive behaviors and anger. She hates men in this life. And after that, she went through the deep healing process. Past life regression is really a very profound healing tool. And the 11th interesting clue is dreams and visions. Have you experienced any recurrent dream? Most of the dreams are symbolic. Even there are many dreams we experience which are past life dreams. We can recognize the past life dream. They're going to be, you recognize them that you are in a very ancient settings. It's not this century, you're in a different type of body. Your body structure was different, your physique was different. You recognize past life dreams will come up many times. And visions, when we are meditating, when our first time and our third eye is opening, our pineal gland is activated and totally this is opening, that time we have glimpses of the past lives. Repeatedly certain visions will appear. Initially the colors, geometric patterns and shapes. Later on, certain visions, certain faces will come to us. We don't know, we don't recognize them, but it's connected to past lives. Later on, we have a 12th interesting deja vu feeling, deja vu, sense of familiarity. It's a French word, which means sense of familiarity with places, people, and situations. When you are meeting a person, you feel a kind of strange connection with that person. Maybe first time you're meeting, but you feel that you know this person from a long time. This is called deja vu. When you visit a place also, you know that you have visited it before. Or a deja vu in situation. Many times situations recur. A past life situation is repeating. You feel a kind of deja vu. This is an interesting clue. 13th clue is strong feelings that you have towards someone that you met. Either attraction or repulsion. Friends do meet in this current life. true friends always they meet again and again, again and again. If you're meeting a person more than 3 times, 4 times, know that it's a past life connection and you have a resonance, you have a deep connection, you resonate through a heart energy. It's the past life connection. And even enemies also they meet. When the enemies they meet, they have a repulsion. They have inexplicable, they don't vibe with each other. They want to just avoid each other. It also happens. And the 14th clue is preferences and personalities. We have a strong preference in this current life. We have likes and dislikes. Why do we like certain things? Why don't we like all the things? Is connected with past life. Is a resonance that we have with certain things in this life. Even a personality that we have now, it's shaped up from many lifetimes. For example, when we meet a person, we understand this person has a personality of a warrior, because in the past life, he is a warrior, or a personality of a sage. We feel so soothing with certain people when we meet. Or a person could be an artist in the past life, an artistic kind of personality. Though they are in the scientist field, the field of science, but still their artist personality is there. So we find these kinds of personality structures, right, when we're meeting people. And 16th clue is synchronicities that occurred in lives. Meaningful occurrences, meaningful coincidences. They're very meaningful. Our life turns around. They're called turning points in our life. If I have not met Brahmarshi Pitama Patriji, my life would have been completely a waste, because I could not have progressed, because he played a very important role. Through him, I learned about meditation. This is so important because it's a synchronicity. Because it all happened like a synchronicity. I was traveling in a bus, overnight travel in a bus. My co-passenger was a stranger. I never met him. I used to have certain habits, like I was smoking, because smoking cigarettes was my habit when I developed as a college student. And after the bus stopped, I smoked the cigarette, later on got into bus, and I shared the nut powder with my co-passenger. And he started speaking about meditation the whole night. He was speaking about meditation. I asked him one question: how do you know all these things? I never heard about meditation before. I was just 17-year-old that time. And he said, there is Patri sir who teaches meditation. I learned from Patri sir. Then I asked him, the next day when we get down the bus, please take me to that guru, that master. I feel this is a synchronicity. I never speak to strangers. I never offer anything like nut powder. But that day I felt like giving him nut powder. That's why whenever I share this experience with Patriji, he says it's nut powder enlightenment. He always jokes that it's a synchronicity. And many synchronicities occurs in our life. It's a very interesting clue. And dear friends, these are certain clues that we can find in this current life. Now I've opened this to have a kind of chat with you, discussion and question and answers. You're most welcome to ask me anything, any question that you have. I'm glad that Sri Karthikeyan is with us today. I feel a very deep connection with Sri Karthikeyan. A kind of fatherly, I feel like I'm his son in one of my past lives. I feel that you are my really a kind of a fatherly feeling I get when I meet you, sir. And also Chandram, also I always feel deja vu from Takshashila University. I feel that kind of connection that immediately, that very moment, I feel a very deep bond and connection. And thanks for giving me this opportunity. And thanks Karthikeyan ji and Chandrasekhar ji.